with some breaking news just coming in. This is the Prime Minister's key statement ahead of the winter session of Parliament that begins his key address in just about half an hour as is customary. This is the winter session of Parliament. 13 big bills on deck. Sansad is bracing for a high voltage showdown as well on a range of issues that you'd expect the opposition to raise during the course of the winter session of Parliament. SIR, Delhi blast, boat chori have already set the agenda. Conflict likely over SIR is what we know at this point in time, with the opposition expected to raise this matter. The Prime Minister, as always, would be speaking, as is the case, as is protocol at the beginning of the session, addressing the press as he does. Ashutosh getting in more details, certainly expecting this to be rather stormy, Ashutosh, with the opposition all set to raise a range of issues, and this includes SIR, of course, the blast that took place in Delhi about a month ago, and more.
Well, out of from today's to 19th of December, we have only about 15 days of the total sitting. And of course, the government brings to plan certain crucial, critical reform bill, including the pump, the nuclear energy, also the tobacco, additional cess, and more importantly, the SIR debate that the opposition is seeking. So clearly, as we are seeing, we already notice given by Manikam Tagore from Aam Aadmi Party, Sanjay Singh, and several other leaders, and also the TMC. The one and only agenda for the opposition is let's debate SIR and the death of the BLOs that has happened. Eventually, there's several other factors. So all these stories around the SIR. The government clearly has said, even during the meeting, that there is no such ministry where the Election Commission's responsibility directly falls in. In that case, which ministry or which department will be responsible to answer on behalf of the Election Commission when the questions will be raised by the opposition? So, citing the rules and that complications, probably the government would not be ready, and it is not going to ready to seek any debate as far as SIR in the Parliament is concerned. Opposition is rigid under the rule they have given, the suspension of the business. That looks like one of the factors where it is going to be a Lockjam in the Parliament with the loggerhead opposition and the government. But there are other several issues, including the air pollution, and you talked about the Delhi terror blast. So that will also on the national security issue. But all it will only settle on the agenda as and when the opposition decides to back off or the government agrees on the demands of the opposition. First day, more likely, stormy, all on the issue of the SIR. Sneha.
The opposition demanding a special discussion on the special intensive revision of cost concerns, Ashutosh, among various states which are poll-bound as well, like West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, for example, over this exercise being carried out on a national basis across states. And this continues to be number one on top of the agenda. Talk to us about how the government is getting up to firefight this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Particularly the opposition rule states have their apprehension. Remember, when it started by the Election Commission in Bihar, the RJD was very much aggressive. And now after the defeat, the opposition clearly, going to intensify their movement, be it from the parliament to the street. And largest state that we are expecting election in the month of April and May is the West Bengal. But of course, in Assam, there is a different revision is taking place where the election is due in the month of February and March. But West Bengal being the largest stakeholder, and followed by that in February 2027, it will be Uttar Pradesh. So Samajwadi Party, TMC, and of course the Congress are the largest stakeholders when it comes to the SIR and the issue that is being raised. That looks like one critical issue on the SIR debate. Government has its own reason that how will they be responsible on behalf of the Election Commission. The TMC delegation, if you remember, also met the Election Commission. They gave their presentation. Election Commission also answered them. But the apprehension and the concern we had not only about the process of the SIR, not only about the several discrepancies coming out of the SIR exercises, but also death of the BLOs under the stress that is being reported in Uttar Pradesh. There was one death reported in Gujarat, and of course in West Bengal as well. So these are the critical agenda for the opposition, and we'll have to see when they take this issue of the SIR in the parliament, see how the government is going to be responsible in the floor of the house.
Be with us. Ashutosh, I'll come back to you just in a second from now, because we're going to tell our viewers a little more about what the opposition has said. Threatening to disrupt the winter session of Parliament, the Samajwadi MP here says, allow us to speak or we'll disrupt the House. The MP says won't allow House to function if no debate on SIR. Ram Gopal Yadav is a Samajwadi Party MP who said, "We will raise our issues and if permission is not granted, we will not allow the House to function." The main issue is SIR. Their intention is to cancel some valid votes and declare them infiltrators, and we will not allow that to happen. We will not allow the House to function if SIR is not discussed, is what Ram Gopal Yadav has said. Let's take a listen.
सेशन में जो कुछ होता है वो सरकार की मंशा से हो रहा है। हम लोगों की मंशा तो होती नहीं, तो हमें तो उम्मीद कुछ भी नहीं है। हमारे जो मुद्दे हैं उनको हम उठाएंगे और इजाजत नहीं दोगी तो आप नहीं करेंगे। मुख्य मुद्दा SIR का है, क्योंकि इस सरकार के बड़े बड़े पदों पर बैठे हुए लोग बिहार में जब से चल रहा था तब से लगातार घुसपैठियों की बात कर रहे हैं। इनका मंशा है कुछ वैलिड वोटों को काट दो और उनको कहो कि ये घुसपैठी है।